In this tutorial, we're going to look at sidechaining within Logic Pro, how to set it up and what it's good for. Okay, let's go. So in this tutorial, we're going to sidechain a kick drum to a bass synth, and we can just start off with an empty project in Logic, and we can create 2 software instrument channels, and we can assign a drum track to one of those. So I'm just going to pick out of the library Drum Machines Epic Electro. That sounds good. Perfect. And then we're going to select a synthesizer bass. So let's go for this heavy sub. That sounds cool. Okay, wicked. So what we can do is we can just program a little drum track here. So put the metronome on and hit record. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do a proper disco 4 to the floor thing. Let's do that. Okay, may have made a little mistake here. Let's get rid of that. And we can select everything and just quantize it to 1/8 notes. Perfect. And we could probably bring the velocity all the way up to the max as well, to be honest. But yeah, let's select our tools, velocity tool, and then yeah, that'll do for the minute. Okay, cool. So let's go back to the beginning, and then we can add just some bass. Maybe we can put this on a loop quickly, and then we can add some bass synth. Cool, I'll do. Okay, cool. So let's say we've got our making of our track here, and let's just quantize this quickly as well. Perfect. I'm not going to go into too much detail in terms of fixing too much MIDI stuff, but anyway, so we've got our 4-bar loop. Cool, so now what we want to do is we want to quantize, we want to sidechain the sub bass here with the kick drum. And how we go about this is we need to basically send a feed of the kick to a new channel. So how we do that is we select the kick drum channel, and then we can add a new bus. Let's just say bus 10. And we can bring that up to 0 by holding down Alt. And now that will be sending the kick to our auxiliary 10. And what we want to do is we want to turn this auxiliary off. So we want to select no output, because we don't want to hear the source sound. We don't want to hear 2 kick drum channels of the same instrument, basically. And then what we need to do is, how this works is you can set the sidechain on the compressor on the channel which we want to sidechain compress. So what we want to do is we want to apply a compressor to the channel that we're going to sidechain. What we need to do is we need to select our sidechain source. In this case, our sidechain source is bus number 10, or auxiliary 10. I don't know why they've changed it so that it's completely different. So yeah, from our drop down menu on the sidechain here, we can see we've got bus number 10. So select that, and basically we should be ready to go. All we need to change now are the parameters within the compressor itself. So what we can do is we can play we can play this, and you can see the kick is triggering the compressor. And if you want to have a listen to it by itself, what we can do is we can solo safe the channel and then hopefully solo our bass. I'm just going to turn the metronome off because we might need to solo the kick, that's the only problem. Okay, so if I decrease the threshold, you can hear the effect it's having on the bass. And maybe give it a really short attack. And we can up the ratio as well, so you can probably hear what's going on. Overloading the compressor, but it's fine. You know what? We could probably use a different compressor for this because that one doesn't really do the job. There we go, voltage controlled amplifier does it. So as you can hear, the kick is triggering the compressor to compress when the kick is playing, and obviously this is with, and then for example without. And that's how you sidechain bass with the kick drum in Logic Pro. Obviously that's predominantly used in things like dance music, but to be honest, it does tighten up the kick and the rhythm section with the bass, and this can be applied to quite a range of different genres and different tracks and different synths, etc. It doesn't necessarily have to be just on a bass. You can apply it to a pad, you could just apply it to literally anything. You could even sidechain the snare as opposed to the kick. Yeah, so there are a number of options there available for experimentation with sidechaining in Logic Pro. So I hope you enjoyed this video on sidechaining. Please check out some other videos on my channel, and yeah, until next time.